You guys. Okay, bye.
Andrea Nemechek on the phone to home. On with Joe's mom, Martha.
I know, if he doesn't get that thing out of my face.
Sorry about that.
And I'm gonna
hit him with that umbrella.
I know every mom is proud of what their son does, whatever they do, but there is not a mom that is more prouder or supports their son more than Martha Nemechek does Joe Nemechek.
We listened in on Joe Nemechek.
Hey, buddy, it's raining, but I think we're going to get this one, bud. I think you would have won it anyway.
However, it's not quite over. They have red flagged this race due to rain with 7 to go. They'd have to come around for 6 to go and at least get another lap to gather the field. So they'd only have a chance to race a couple of laps, and that is if the track dries. This doesn't look dry.
No,
this is drip dry.
Take a long time just to run 7 more laps. You know.
Well, I do appreciate NASCAR's consistency. You know, they have the option to red flag this race, but I'm sure they don't want to be accused of favoritism. They have a chance to red flag it and restart it. They're going to try.
What do you say there, Mr. Larry? You the weatherman.
I'm going to say, considering this is Richmond, Virginia right here, and you see this stuff moving this way, I don't think it looks that good.
I'd say that may be one of your better calls when it comes to weather.
So?
Yeah.
I think so. I looked at it myself, though.
I got to pay off Larry's story. I know he told half of it about the time he sent somebody over to the weather radar. The fella comes back, and you're seeing the weather map, and all that green is rain. Fella comes back and says, "We're great.
We're great to go." Came to pit road, 4 tires full of fuel. We didn't even get to the end of pit road. The bottom fell out, and the moral of the story is we were in line if we could win that race with Davey Allison to win the Winston Million, $1 million bonus. And my buddy DW here,
but
won the race. But
let's talk about 1990 at Wilkesboro.
The guy thought because the weather map was green, everything was great.
All right, say your piece, please. Go ahead.
No, I mean, we kind of traded. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay. He wants to talk about North Wilkesboro. I know.
1990 at North Wilkesboro.
Your teammates now, remember?
Oh yeah.
That's it.
No, we're not
team.
We're not fighting anymore. We're discussing.
You don't have to work with me. Just don't work against me.
Speaking of green, let's go to the long and the wide green. Let's go to Matt Yoakum with Fatback.
Well, Fatback, you're looking at the racetrack out in front here. You're sitting in second. Fans are starting to duck for cover. How long do you think we're looking for the racetrack to come back if it stops raining?
Yeah, I think if it came right now, from what I can see here, we're an hour away, and I don't think we're going to dry it. An hour worth of drying for 7 laps. You know, I hate we didn't get a shot to race for it, but that's 3 seconds, 3 weeks in a row if it ends right now, and you can't really complain about that.
That's a lot of momentum there.
Yeah, I mean, you know, heading into Charlotte, which is one of Bobby's favorite towns to be in, that's a good way to head in there.
Now, you know, we've got Fatback up here on top of the pit box, and there's a baby back at home. You can explain.
Yeah, baby back's me and my wife, Deanna's little dog. He's been kind of sick for the past couple of days, so she stay home, take care of him, but Fatback will be home tonight.
And baby back, a Jack Russell Terrier. Chris Myers?
Jack Russell Terrier, likable dogs. from Fatback to Baby Back, where do you go from there? Only on FX on a Saturday. How about this? We have rain, pain, and insane. Okay.
Yeah. I know which one you are.
Describe the weather, a headache, and Darrell Waltrip. There you go. I was just killing time down here while we were watching. So, Jeff, how about fans are watching saying, by the way, we've had 3 Richmond races that have been shortened by rain before. Right. And the fans are saying here, what are we going to do here? Couldn't they have just gone a couple more laps to get within that 395 window?
Well, sure, they could. They could have done it real easy, but like Mike was talking about, NASCAR is trying to be consistent with what they've been doing all year long. Whenever they had an opportunity to stop the race, to try to give the fans an opportunity to see a great finish, which I think everything was kind of shaping up. You can see right there, the fans haven't left. All they've done is covered up and said, hey, we'll be right here until we get this thing ready to go back to green. Or if NASCAR decides to call it, well, then they'll go home like the rest of us will. But they're at least trying to be consistent.
And Joe Nemechek, certainly, we saw his wife on the phone before. His mother, Larry mentioned Martha, maybe an early Mother's Day present for her. If her son can hold on for his 3rd career Winston Cup victory. And in the process of trying to stay consistent, how long does NASCAR wait this out, given the weather report that Larry just showed us on the map?
I think that weather report right there kind of spoke for itself. And, you know, you got to give Peter Suspenzo a lot of credit right now. They were down early on. the weather. That's what they've been racing all night long, and they finally looks like they may get their break they've been looking for. It took him a while to get that dance down right, but I think he may have got it finally where it needs to be.
And if Joe is indeed the winner, it would be his first win since Rockingham and the first win in the last 47 races. Let's go back upstairs.
And don't forget, if you joined us late, this is a team that has recovered from a big goof. They did not bring Nemechek in on one of the cautions, and it sent him from the lead back to about 24th on the restart because they had to pit him later in that caution to avoid having to pit him under green. It's over.
Rick Hendrick right there.
Nemechek has his third Winston Cup victory.
There's Rick Hendrick, and I got to tell you, I got to give Rick credit. That man is a chemist. When it comes to putting people together and getting results, he's the best there is.
First short track win for Nemechek. First top 5 finish for him at Richmond in 19 starts. And he becomes the 10th different winner in 2003 in 11 races.
See Bobby Labonte in the 18 car, third, second place finish in a row. He's doing what he needs to do for this points championship. And how about Dale Earnhardt Jr. finishing third?
Yeah, and I watched that 25 car, Larry, when they did make that pit stop, and he came through the field. I knew good and well he was going to win this race.
And it puts Nemechek in the Winston in 2 weeks at Charlotte.
Last chance to qualify for it.
Good for him.
It's all over at Richmond. Joe Nemechek beats Bobby Labonte, Dale Earnhardt Jr., Robbie Gordon, and Mark Martin, the top 5. Victory lane after this.
We worked on a little bit to begin the race. We're quite as good.
Chevy congratulates Joe Nemechek and the number 25 Monte Carlo team on tonight's big win. Another reason why Chevy says wherever there's a winner's circle, we'll be there. Here's the Chevy winning moment. And it's Joe's wife, Andrea.
Put that umbrella away.
Down a Gatorade victory lane for the third time in his Winston Cup career, Joe Nemechek.
Celebrate.
Dick Bergeron's in the midst of the celebration.
Well, it's not exactly victory lane. Here we are in the Winston Cup garage. We are indeed. Wife Andrea. Peter Suspenzo is crew chief.
I wanted to kill him halfway through the race.
Why is that, Joe?
Hey, hell of a call. Hell of a call. I tell you what, I gotta thank Papa Joe Hendrick, Rick Hendrick, for giving me this opportunity. First thing, I gotta thank God we had a good, safe race, and our thoughts and prayers are with Jerry Nadeau and his wife and his daughter, Tom Ryder and Pat, another friend of mine. I mean, they've been struggling with problems, and we just hope they all recover well. What a night. It's just great to be back in victory lane.
Now, you had the strongest car. I mean, this thing was wicked fast. Where did all that speed come from, Joe?
The car was unbelievable. Since we unloaded it off the truck, it's been unbelievable. And we never really changed anything the whole time we've been here. And can go high, low, wherever I wanted to go. I got to thank UAW, Delphi, Chevrolet, GMAC, Quaker State, all these people that support us. Got to say hello to John Hunter and Blair, Mom and Dad back at home. Man, this is cool.
Congratulations to you. 3 Winston Cup wins, attaboy. Let's go to Matty.
And Dick, second again and again and again for Bobby Labonte. If we didn't get the showers, could you have gotten him?
I don't know. Joe was awful tough. I just want to congratulate those guys, Hendrick Motorsports and Joe Nemechek. They did a great job. I mean, those guys had a really fast race car. So, our interstate battery was good for the latter part of the night. First part we struggled a little bit and got it better. And Fatback and all the guys worked real hard. Got to thank Mark Cronquist. I wore him out tonight, I believe. And then Frenchie and David Wagner, those guys and everybody below them. Everybody at Joe Gibbs Racing worked real hard. So it was good. Had a good night. I knew I couldn't catch him if I went back to green, so I really wasn't worried about it.
What a great first half short track season. A third, a second, and a second. Steve?
Well, Matt, 5th consecutive top 10 finish for Dale Earnhardt Jr. Now, the question is, man, if we hadn't had all those cautions, could you have gotten to the 25, the 18?
Yeah, we were Well, I don't know about that. I mean, before the very first caution come out with about 40 to go, we were coming. You know, we were getting to the 25. Every time the caution come out, when we go back to green, my car would drive different every time. So I didn't know what I was going to have. Each restart would be tight or loose and good, not good. But it's good hard work for us tonight. And, you know, we raced good and did what we could. I mean, I'm real happy to get third place. I'd like to got the win, but we keep racking up these top fives and doing the right things and staying up in the points. It's really paying off for us. I'm real proud of my team.
All right, good job, Dale. Back upstairs.
Thanks, Steve. Have a look at the results. Joe Nemechek, as the rain continues to fall. There's some irony in that Jerry Nadeau drove the 25 here last year, his final ride in that car.
And got his only win that he has at Atlanta, Georgia in the top 25. I look at there, Roush Racing with 4 cars in the top 9. An organization been struggling everywhere except Daytona and Talladega. Richard Childress Racing, 2 guys in the top 6.
Yeah, little brother comes home 12th. That probably moved him up a little in the points. Pole setter Terry Labonte, 21st.
Bobby Labonte picked up 3 positions in the point standings here.
And Dale Jarrett all the way back in 36th place, right ahead of his teammate.
Boy, a lot of hard luck cases in this race. Drivers who had good runs but weren't around at the finish. I think the most spectacular drive of the night, though, Darrell, was to see Robbie Gordon's car at the start of this race so loose he couldn't hang on to it with a tire problem, and comes back from nearly 4 laps down to contend for the win.
That's the kind of driver you want. Don't ever give up. Just keep fighting. You never know what's going to happen. 23 cars on the lead lap. Pretty darn exciting race tonight, and pretty clean, really.
And Larry, the team that won almost gave the race away in the pits.
I want to say there's another example. Don't give up. I mean, here they go from first to about 23rd because they had a miscue on getting Joe to pit road, but they prevailed at the end. Took them a while to overcome it, but they had a good enough car and enough patience that they could do it.
Lots of stories, lots of strange stories. 15 caution flags. Nemechek the winner.
Guys, and Kenseth hangs on after 11 of 36 races, but Dale Earnhardt Jr. has finished ahead of Kenseth in the last 5 races. So look how close, Jeff Hammond, things have gotten between first and second place. And again, Dale Earnhardt Jr. has never led the points lead.
Well, I'm not too sure what kind of game he's playing right now, but he's kind of like a Pac-Man. He just kind of keeps nipping away. Every time you turn around, he gets a little bit closer to the lead right there. And I'm pretty sure before it's all said and done, you'll see Dale Earnhardt Jr. up there leading the points.
And Joe Nemechek, as they pointed out, in a car that Jerry Nadeau raced in last year, wins and ends a streak of frustration. But a guy who has hung in there and really enjoys front row Joe, ending up in his victory lane, Joe, here tonight.
Yeah, he really has. And, you know, again, you got to take your hat and give it a big attaboy to these guys, because they assembled the team, did everything at the end of last year, and kind of got themselves back into this groove where they could be contenders and put him in an opportunity to win, because Joe for a while looked like he was getting ready to lose this ride, but all of a sudden he and Peter Suspenzo kind of put that act together, and the guys at Hendrick Motorsports got behind them. They started finishing consistently, and now they kind of paid everybody off by getting this victory here.
All right, on FX, of course, these are the races scheduled. The Winston, which now Joe Nemechek will be a part of. You'll see that 2 weeks from tonight, 7 o'clock Eastern on FX. We always have fun out there, meeting the drivers and pit crews. Of course, the Coca-Cola 600, you'll see that on Fox Memorial Day weekend. And from Dover, the MBNA Armed Forces race coming up. Next week, Friday, NASCAR Busch Series qualifying. That's at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific from St. Louis. And then Busch Series racing presented by Johnsonville, 2:30 Eastern, 11:30 Pacific.
I just want to say one thing. We will not be back here next week as far as the Winston Cup's concerned. We want to wish everybody a happy Mother's Day next weekend.
Yes, to all the moms out there, happy Mother's Day early. And Winston Cup this season, the McDonald's drive-thru challenge, fueled by Powerade. All pit stops timed. The eligible crew could win a weekly prize of $20,000, or will, and the season-long winner could cash in with $200,000. And if you missed the secret car earlier today in our Be a NASCAR Grand Marshal for a Day contest, check it out. The next time, log on to foxsports.com. You can win and be a part of things at Rockingham. Again, Jerry Nadeau in critical but stable condition. Doctors are encouraged after Nadeau's vital signs have improved. And we certainly have our thoughts and prayers with Jerry Nadeau and his family. For all of us here, thanks for watching. Racing from Richmond on FX, Joe Nemechek, your winner here in Richmond. Have a nice weekend. We'll see you next time. Take care.